All right, I just have to cut you there, Gursimran. We have breaking news coming in. India's air defense system has intercepted Pakistani projectiles, and that's what we are breaking right now. Air defense system has intercepted Pakistani projectiles. We'll just try and get you the information as to where has it been intercepted, the Pakistani projectiles. This is the update, the big update we are getting in right now. India's air defense system, remember, has been on alert, and it has now intercepted a projectile from the Pakistani side. We try and get you more details. We connect with our reporters and understand exactly where this report is coming from, as the tensions are only now increasing. It's escalating, viewers, what we understand right now. Niranjan will be joining us in a short while from now to give us more details on that. In fact, viewers, the update we have is that a Pakistani projectile. Gursimran, in fact, is with us. Gursimran, tell us more about this information that you're sharing with us. This Pakistani projectile that has been intercepted.
See, this means that the Pakistani attack has been foiled by the Indian air defense system. This attack was made last night at around 1 in the Amritsar, that Pakistan launched a projectile into the Indian territory. But the Indian air defense system that was well intact in place, this missile was intercepted and brought down. It was in the Jethual village of the Amritsar that the missile landed in the area. This was a field where this missile has landed close to a residential complex, but there has not been any loss that has been reported. But Pakistan continues to mount trouble for itself by launching a projectile attack into the Indian side. As we mentioned a couple of minutes earlier, that the Indian Air Force has been given a free hand by the government of India. So any threat that comes to the integrity of the India towards the borders of the India, that they have got to go ahead to deal directly with, be it with any kind of escalation it could be. And that's why we saw that late last night in the Amritsar there was an attempt, the projectile that was trying to enter the Indian territory, that was stopped by the air defense system, totally jammed and detonated using the air defense mechanism that has been put in place all along the international border and line of the control. The Indian air defense stands firm for any of the mischief by the Pakistani side. And now this debris that have been recovered from the Jethual and the Pandhor village, they are actually the testimony of the India's air defense system, that how strong it is.
Okay, big breaking news update coming in, ladies and gentlemen. In case you're watching this breaking news broadcast, we have intercepted Pakistani missiles. It's a confirmation that's come in, and this is after cross-checking, fact-checking with top sources in the Indian defense establishment. I'll try and get my colleague Shravan as well. Shravan has picked up these details, and in just about 20 seconds, I will get him from the newsroom, because this is extremely critical. We have intercepted. Okay, I have a big breaking news update coming in. Shravan sharing more details. That debris of the projectiles have been found in Punjab. Debris of the Pakistani projectiles have been found in Punjab. We'll add that to the breaking news update right now. Debris of the Pakistani projectile found in Punjab. That's a breaking news update that we have right now from Shravan and Abhishek. Shravan and Abhishek, both live. Shravan and Abhishek, I'm going across to Shravan first. Shravan has picked up the details. Shravan, what was Pakistan trying to do? What details do you have? Shravan breaking that story, the only channel with the full details. Shravan is joining us. Go ahead. I can hear you, my friend. Shravan, go ahead. You're live.
Well, in fact, Niranjan, what we are basically picking up is that in Punjab, there are debris of Pakistani projectiles which have been found. And now what we are also sourcing from information that we're getting from our sources within the defense is the fact that India's air defense system has basically brought down certain projectiles. So what we have essentially seen in the last 24 hours after the precision strike that was carried out by India, you've had the Pakistanis non-stop carrying out artillery firing across the international border and as far as the line of control is concerned. Apart from that, there were certain projectiles that were also brought down by the air defense system. We'll try and see if Major Samar Tur can also join us on this broadcast and also get us more information on this. Gursimran, more details now emerging from at least two locations where the projectiles were found in Punjab. What more details are you picking up? Because so far from here in the national capital, we haven't been able to identify the missiles. But what we can confirm is that the air defense system, Indian Air Force's air defense system was able to intercept some of these projectiles that were fired towards India.
Let's... Yeah.
Yes, Shawan, it was around 1 in the morning of 1 a.m. when we saw a projectile that was heading towards the Indian territory. Air defense system intercepted this projectile and this was brought down. And the debris have been found in the two villages of the Amritsar. One is Jethuwar and another is Sindoor, where these debris have been found. And now the authorities have seized these debris of the Pakistani missile that was launched into the Indian territory, but was timely intercepted by the air defense system. The air defense system has been activated all along the line of control as well as the international border by Indian side. Soon after we saw that the Pakistan is scaling up the activities, also the drone activities that are happening from the Pakistani side. The air defense system was intact. It was in place for more than a week's time at almost all the vulnerable locations along the international border and line of control. And yesterday night at around 1, it intercepted a missile that was a projectile
those
that
are
was
specific details. Those are specific details that Gursimran is also getting us. Gursimran, I'll request you to stay on with us. Major Samarpal Tur is also joining us. Major, a confirmation now coming in that India's air defense system was able to intercept certain Pakistani projectiles. Can you help us understand, because unfortunately, Major Samarpal Tur, I haven't been able to confirm the missiles that have been fired. Is there any clarity? Can you help us understand what's really happening in terms of the missiles that have been fired by the Pakistanis?
The missiles are mainly of the Chinese origin. So they are calling it the Chinese PL-15 missiles. And basically what went wrong with these missiles is they ran short of fuel in terms of their range. So they're called the fourth generation BVR missile. And so this is what I have been able to get to know, that these are one of the Chinese most sophisticated missile systems, fourth generation BVR missile.
Okay, fourth generation BVR missile, Chinese missiles. Major Samarpal Tur, Republic's defense strategy analyst, now giving us more details of the missiles that have been fired by the Pakistanis. We were told that these projectiles were intercepted and debris of it have been found in different parts of Punjab, at least 2 locations that we are getting in confirmation now. Major, you have got deep connections within the armed forces, and you perhaps would be the best person to help us understand in terms of the strategy that has now been adopted by the Pakistanis, because late last evening you had the Pakistani Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif, who was completely cornered, did not know how to exactly react, and that is the reason why you have these empty threats that are now being issued by the Pakistanis.
See, Shawan, as of now, what is amply clear is that, Punjab is the target, and very surprising. And you see, these orders are basically coming from the headquarters at Gujranwala Corps, because probably that was one of the places of target which has been spreading. They've been giving funds for the terror infrastructure. So you see, they have targeted places, and these missiles were found at Jethuwal village, then at Majita village in Amritsar. So now the analysis have to be that what in the trajectory of these places would they have probably been targeting. I'm saying again, the missile debris have been found in Jethuwal village and Majita village of Amritsar. So it is evidently clear that their target is Amritsar at the moment, and majority of their arsenal and military and artillery is present in Lahore. And these are the present updates as of now.
Okay, I'm just going to quickly go back to Gursimran, as Gursimran is also getting us more details. Major, I just want you to stay with us, because we have also got certain pictures, but we are not putting this out for the moment because we are waiting for an official confirmation, on record confirmation to come in from our defense, our defense forces, because I'm given to understand something big is expected later sometime today. That's my information at this point in time, because this is being well calculated by our forces, and as we have been pointing out, that Operation Sindoor does not end here. Gursimran, you've also been speaking to a few people, your connections there. We have also spoken here in the national capital. The sense that we are getting right now, that this was just the tip of the iceberg. The operation is not over.
Yes, Shravan, it's absolutely no doubt that it's only the tip of the iceberg. Reason being that yesterday afternoon, after the India carried out the precision strikes inside the Pakistani territory, there was a meeting, a high-level meeting that was held, and in that meeting, it was conveyed to all the officials on ground, those who have to ensure that everything goes well. They were conveyed that Operation Sindoor is not over, and they have to be on a standby mode. They have to make the adequate arrangements that are needed for the days to come. So this was conveyed yesterday evening to all the officials on ground here in Jammu and Kashmir and in n number of locations that the operation is not over. They have to be in the ready state. And now what we are witnessing that yesterday an attempt was made, everything was in place. When the Pakistan at the dead of the night around 1 in the morning, they attempted to breach the Indian airspace. They attempted to target one of our locations using a projectile into the Indian territory that was intercepted by the air defense system. It was jammed and then it was brought down. It landed at two locations. The debris have been found. It is in Jathuwal and it is in Pandhor area of the Amritsar, where the locations, these two locations are, where the recoveries have been made by today morning by the security forces.
Shravan, do you have a detailed briefing or input on when this happened, what time? Because there was some chatter last night. And of course, we were waiting for some official word, nothing from the Indian side. But in Pakistan itself, there was a lot of chatter. And this morning, we heard of explosions in Lahore. Now, we know that Lahore is roughly about 40 kilometers from the border in Punjab, very close to the border. Any timeline on when these projectiles were intercepted?
Well, first to answer your question as to what's really happening and what's happening inside Pakistan at this point in time. There are certain limitations that we have right now, Niranjan, in terms of the operation details, the operational details, because we are given to understand that as our borders are hot right now, you've essentially seen both sides engaging in massive artillery firing. And the other big breaking news also coming in right now, Niranjan, is the fact that because of the ceasefire violations that have taken place, there's been heavy artillery firing that took place late last night, resulting in some of the Pakistani posts being completely decimated. So the kind of the injuries that have been inflicted upon the Pakistani army right now is unimaginable, is what I was given to understand by one of my sources here in the national capital. So that explains the fact that yes, there has been some action that has been taken. Details of it perhaps would come out in the next few hours in terms of what is happening inside Pakistan. If you simply go by the claims that have been made by the Pakistani media, yes, they say that there has been action once again taken by us, and there are details basically emerging of certain drone hits. Now that's what the Pakistani media is now claiming, the drone hits that have taken place in Lahore itself and a few other places in Gurjanwala, as Major Samarpal Tur would be in a better position to tell you on this. But having said that, answering your question with regards to when were these projectiles that were intercepted, we were told that it was late last night. In fact, it was our air defense system that was able to bring down these projectiles. And just adding more information on this has been Major Samarpal Tur, who's been able to identify the missiles, because that we haven't been able to independently verify from our sources within the armed forces with regards to what were these missiles. That confirmation I do not have. That's something that Major Samarpal Tur is in a better position to help us understand in terms of the missiles. There are certain pictures also, Niranjan, that we are in our possession, but we are not putting them out because we are waiting for some sort of a detailed briefing to take place from the side of the armed forces.
We'll take a short break right now, Shravan. As you gather more details, it's a developing story. We are putting out very, very limited details because obviously we don't want to give out the operational details as of now. This has been reported in some quarters, but we're only putting out this much for now because we're being very responsible in how we report this. I'm going across to take a short break right now. Other channels now, I see that...
Mahi sir, how much do you love your fans?